Oh, crush. Hello and welcome to another episode of my Minecraft creative series, and we'll get the video rolling. So firstly, thank you again if you've even just tuned in. That is absolutely amazing. It feels like a while since I last made a video, so realistically, hang on a minute. I've set this recording and I don't know if it's even on the right thing. So just hope it's worked. I mean, it appears to be doing it. Very unprofesh, sorry about that. Okay, anyway, so yeah, I think I last recorded an episode. Well, I did a bunch on Saturday morning. And you know that my last two episodes was basically one episode split in two, so I'm really sorry about that. I've again been having problems. Excuse me, I don't think they're fully fixed, so I don't know exactly what's going on. Excuse me again, what the hell? It's because I've literally just eaten, which by the way, excuse me, what the hell is going on? And another one. Oh my gosh. Anyway, there's going to be gaps in me playing today because I was trying to make my tea at the same time. Because I was basically just testing out if the video was recording. I'm like, well, if I'm recording and I'm making stuff in the video, I might as well do what I was going to do for my episode. And then I didn't think the recording had worked, but I've just had a look on here and it looks like it has actually worked. I have no idea what is going on with my recording stuff. It's just a nightmare, but the good news is I've got the passion for it, so that kind of keeps me going with it. But anyway, I've said in the past few episodes, if you've been watching them or paying any sort of attention, that my plan is to, every sort of fifth episode, so if the episode is a multiple of 5, I'm going to build 5 houses. So in this episode, I do sort of outline where I'm going to put 5 houses. Now, if you've been following along, you know exactly where we are in my creative world. I'm sort of just down the hill from what we're calling the village square. And there's that giant building that sort of looks like the council building up there. Pick up all that rubbish off the floor. So there's that giant building that looks like the council building up there that is still unfinished. Maybe I need to finish that off. That could be an episode that's coming, I guess. I've not decided exactly what I want to do with it. I need a school. I really want it to be a bar, hotel maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. But I need to get to the point where I'm starting to think about employment for some of these residents, because otherwise they've just got no income and no way of life. And there's no way to afford these nice houses that I keep building them. So I'm going to skim past what's happening now because I literally just replaced that path with stone bricks, as you can see. I'm going to fast forward it again, and then I start to outline here sort of where my first house is going to go. Now, I really wanted to build sort of a row of terraced houses along there. There's obviously that great big sort of cave behind it, which I'm planning on being some sort of mine. So I'm thinking these houses, there's a bit of space for them. They're going to sort of back onto the mine, which, yeah, I guess is not ideal, but people must live next to mines in real life. People live next to all sorts of things, don't they? I must say all the houses I've built, maybe except one of them, are quite small. And I know I keep falling into this trap where I build houses that are way too small to actually be functional. And when I go to decorate them, it's just a nightmare. You've not got the space to even make rooms or whatever. So yeah, I'm guilty of that again. I've not actually started decorating these houses yet, but as I decorate them, we might have to see if I expand them again like I did in the past few episodes. You've seen me expand quite a few houses. So this is an example of what I'm talking about, where I just sort of go away from what's happening in the game because I had my tea in the air fryer and I kept thinking, oh my gosh, I need to check it. So I'm going to fast forward. You can see I've started that first house there, and eventually I do come back to it and then just start adding the upstairs. I think before I finish the upstairs on this house, sorry, my feet, my ankles keep itching, which is super annoying. Yeah, so before I finish the upstairs on that house, I start working on the one next to it as well. I can squeeze a house in there, and I'm thinking I want it to be different to that first one. So I go straight away for go away menu. I go away for go away. Is that what I was going to say? I go for a double door, as you can see there, and my plan is to have sort of glass going around it and a door slightly to one side. And you can see I decided to go for a 3-wide bay window, if you can even call that a bay window, because it literally just sticks out. It's not really a bay window, is it? Yeah, so again, quite limited on space. We'll have to see what I can do with that space. Yeah, I'm going to fast forward so you can see what's happening next, because it's not very exciting, is it? Okay, so then I start demolishing this little natural spawning house just next to them. Now, obviously it was facing, you can see the way it's facing now, And the house that I built there, I keep facing the same way. I was really tempted to have them all facing the same way, but I thought, no, I say, you know, I don't like repetitiveness. So I do face them the way that this little hut was facing, just to try and give it that little bit more character and a nice sort of like feel to the estate that I'm building, if you can even call it that. I'm thinking, by the way, and it's quite an exciting announcement. Let me just cough 1 second. Quite an exciting announcement that I've been thinking of an idea and I've not fully thought it through yet. Where basically I add a bit of a randomness to my YouTube videos to make them just a little bit more exciting. So I thought about like rolling a dice, but I don't have any dice and I can't bother to get one. But you can just ask Siri to like pick a random number, so that's probably what I'm going to do. And I've not thought it out yet, but I'm thinking like for whatever number it lands on, there needs to be like a certain thing. So I might do like, I don't know, can you imagine if like a certain number, like if it lands on a 4, it means I've got to build a house, or if it lands on a 1, it means I've got to demolish something that I've already built. I don't know, just little things like that. So it's something that I'm working on, just to make the videos perhaps a little bit more exciting. And I guess we're never going to know exactly what's going to happen next if there is a bit of randomness to it. So you can see now I've completely like removed that hut, and I start to go about sort of adding one of these more modern houses. Now it ends up being fairly similar to the ones I've done so far, but I must say in the end I extended it further out towards the back, as you will see later in the episode, because as I start to plan out the space, I think this is the first house that we're doing now that I actually put a bed into. And yeah, you can see I've still got my lime green bed in the hotbar, so like there's going to be so many lime green beds in this world. That's not on purpose, it's just how it's happened. It looks like, again, I've gone to check the air fryer now. So I'll fast forward it so you've got something to look at in between me talking about boring stuff. So I've come back from the air fryer again. Oh, and it looks like I've moved on to knocking down that building there. Now, it was a building with a lot of character, which is a shame because I don't like to lose the ones with a lot of character. But I'm thinking, to be fair, there's barely anything left of what was this original village. I mean, obviously, if you want to see it and see what it was like, I do a tour of the village back in, I don't know exactly what episode it is, but I do a tour of this village that I found and show you all the buildings. Now, I imagined I was probably going to like expand them or like just section off gardens and stuff. I did not imagine that I would just end up like knocking them all down. But hey ho, that's what we've gone for. If I don't know, if you want anything back, let me know. But otherwise, as you know, I'll just keep doing my own thing. So yeah, I'm going to fast forward. I just completely remove this building and then eventually outline sort of where I want to put a house. So it's all been flattened off now. I keep going back to the start point because I'm really thinking about what I want the houses to look like as you approach them. I know that sounds silly, but I think so much of like modern estates, they're really planned to sort of look pleasing to the eye compared to like just squeezing as many houses as you can. As much as they do that, they also like have a bit of character. They're all maybe slightly different, or yeah, even if they just stick out like half a metre or something, it really gives it that something to look at. So I was thinking, like, how can I make these buildings actually look like they fit together? They don't look weird. Because when I walk towards a house like I'm doing now, I'm thinking, where would I want the house wall to sit? Is it going to be too close to the path? Is it too far away? I know that maybe sounds silly, but it's definitely something I like to think about. So there's me just picturing, would the wall look okay there? And in the end, I decide yes. I decide on this house, and spoiler alert, it's going to be the biggest one out of the 5. To go for a nice big bay window there, and I decided that a 2 block wide was not good enough, so I extend it to a 3 block wide nice big bay window. And then I'm going to fast forward to what I do with the rest of the building. So there you go, you can see I've put a doorway in now. I've put a little window right next to the front door, which does actually mean where the stairs go. Surprise, surprise. I always put the stairs like where you just go in, and maybe I need to start switching that up to sort of vary my buildings a little bit. But I do think lots of houses, the stairs appear to be just as you go in the door, so I guess that's why I keep doing it. Anyway, just where those trees are there is where I decide to put the 5th house, and that's why I start to clear these trees, not buildings. So let me fast forward it and you'll see what I've done. Yep, good, get rid of those. Oh, rewind in a second. Just in there, I put a path that runs down the side of that bigger house that I've just built because, well, firstly, I need a little bit of path for that house, 5th house that I'm going to build to join onto. But secondly, it just looks like the perfect place down the side of the house. I don't particularly need the space to just continue that path, and I think I'll just end up adding more houses on there at some point. I did literally go look at it at the end of the recording. I don't know if it was off camera, actually. just to see what's at the end of the path and think about whether I could put some sort of houses down there. And the answer is yes, I can. So that's maybe something that's coming in a future episode. So again, I'm going now for like just my typical, tiny bog standard house. If you've got any suggestions, like in terms of building, because I said that I really like them to be different and have character, but yeah, I always seem to end up building the same sort of thing. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. And I must say, like, I've never actually built this many houses in Minecraft, which is crazy. Out of all the years I've been playing, I mean, I don't know, I've maybe done it. I've not really kept tabs, but it just feels like this world so far. I mean, I look at it at the end, not in this recording, but off camera, I look at the world and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much I've built, and I'm only like 15 episodes deep. So that's what I like about the YouTube thing as well. Like, it's pushing me to keep building things and really make the world develop. I know I'm focusing on houses a lot at the beginning, but I sort of need the houses to be able to have all the other infrastructure. And I think it will be cool to see like how the village and the town and everything develop over time. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. But I'm trying to add a bunch of population. I think the population of this village that I'm working on was about 44, 45. I think 44 was what it was, is what I'd guessed. So if we add another, assuming 5 residents on, but a lot of these buildings might end up being like 2-bedroom houses, so I really do need to work it out. That'd take the population to at least 50. Now, out of 50, I've worked out that I reckon about half the population should be in employment if everybody was in employment. Now, obviously, at the minute, there aren't enough jobs for them. So I need to make enough workplaces for about 25 jobs. So that's definitely something that's coming. And I must admit, I've sort of teased in the town or village square. There's obviously the council building. We need people to run the council, but there's a train station. There might be some employment there. I've mentioned that we need a post office that needs doing. I mean, I've thought of so many things that this village needs. So post office is one of them. I've said about a fishmonger, so that the fish can be imported from Foxby. And then I just need other things like butchers, bakers. I need a school. So yeah, there's loads and loads of opportunity. And bearing in mind as well that if I've got a population of about 50, we said 25 working, which means about 12 would be kids and about 12 would be pensioners. So the 12 that are kids, that's obviously 12 kids that need to be educated or at least cared for. Like, I'm going to need some sort of daycare or education establishment. Now, obviously 12 is really small for a school, but there are, I don't know if anyone's ever heard, like villages that have really small schools and have really small class sizes. So I guess that's just where we're going to start and have to see how it builds up over time. And I think things with that will be really interesting, to start with a really small school and then see how it expands and expands and expands with the population. Like, will I knock it down and just build a whole new school, or will I maybe just keep extending. I don't know. But then if I've got this randomness element as well, where I've got to demolish a random building, oh my gosh. I did think on the back of that, like, if there's a building I really don't want to demolish, I'm going to use like the excuse that the council are going to pretend that it's like listed or whatever. It's just purely like make believe in my own little imaginary world. But if the council puts a building as listed and it can't be like funded privately, then the council are going to have to take on the cost of that. So obviously, if the council can't keep up the cost of maintaining all of these listed buildings that I'm thinking of doing, then we're really going to have to rethink like either how the council's spending their money or which building has got to go. It just adds so much story-wise, in my opinion. Anyway, as you can see, I'm just still working on this tiny house. It does go quite far back, this one. I decided to take it right back to where those trees are, sort of naturally. I'm going to fast forward so you can see what I sort of do with the space. Okay, so just filling in the kitchen area there. I end up putting a nice big like double door. I'm thinking about maybe having like a raised patio area out the back of there, because I don't know if you've seen, but just sort of like drop off on a hill. So I really try to make that, well, I think it is going to need like a raised area, because otherwise you can walk out that back kitchen door or whatever and just be straight onto land that's lower down. It's not going to work. So as you can see, I'm just adding in the roofs now, because it goes back so far. Get my words out. You can see I am able to put that strip of stone bricks across like I like to do. I've not really thought about if I'm going to put any rooms in these attics, because again, that's another thing that is obviously really going to affect the population. If I can squeeze like an extra bedroom in an attic, that is going to have a massive impact on the population. So yeah, I've not even started, apart from one of the houses, even thinking about decorating it. So yeah, we're just going to have to see like how it pans out. I don't know whether to do an episode on that or just do it off camera and then show you what I've done. I think that's probably what I'll do, because it's not very exciting. I mean, I'll have a look now, but at the time before, like, the episode that I did on the decorating the houses, let me look, that's the wrong channel. That episode did not, I swear it didn't have any views, none at all, which is fine, but like, I honestly think if you're watching this and you follow my videos, like, you are missing out, because I think it's really cool to see how I use the space in each house just a little bit different, but again, that's me, and I appreciate we all have different interests, so it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Let me have a look. So, yeah. Decorating the interiors of my 10 different houses from episode 10 is currently on no views. It's actually my only video that is on no views. There was that one and my most recent one, but I advertised my channel on my Instagram story, and that has meant now that I've got 2 views on my most recent video. Considering it was 3 days ago, it was on 0 views. Now, oh gosh, I really need to think about what I'm doing, and actually I've done some work with Year 11 today on, it was in their starter activity, about how, how targets need to be smart targets, and they obviously know that I do YouTube, it comes up in conversation all the time. But if you just join the journey, like, they don't know my channel or anything, and I don't tell them what I get up to or anything. They just know that I do it, okay? And yeah, we said about how targets need to be smart. So to get them engaged, though, we tried to use like real life examples. And I went, so if I really want to achieve, because they were talking, I think, about how I had no subscribers or whatever. And I said, right, well, if I really want to achieve hitting 10 subscribers, I need to make a smart target, don't I? It's got to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time constrained. So it really got me thinking, like, maybe that's something I should do, but I know deep down, like, I am not doing this for subscribers. Like, yes, of course it's cool if people want to follow along with the journey. I feel like there'd be a number that I'd be happy with, okay? And it's not a big number at all. Like, I'd love to just have a small collection of people that really enjoy my videos. But should I really push myself to do a smart target on achieving that number of views? I mean, I could do it, but it's not... Oh, there's people outside. It's not really like what I'm thinking or what I'm hoping for. Like, I'm purely doing this for me. Right, just quickly in terms of what's happening in the video, you can see I've actually built a bedroom at the front of this house just to try and think about how I'm using the space. And then I start thinking, well, how can I squeeze in one of these shower rooms or bathrooms? I think, right, I can't do it. So I extend the house further out the back to make sure there's enough room to squeeze in a bathroom or a shower room. So I'm going to fast forward because I just put the wall in. Not very exciting. There we go. I love this fast forward feature. I wish I'd done it like earlier in my YouTube videos. So just build a wall around that little extension that I've done, and this ends up being like the perimeter of the house. Yeah, so just build the wall in, and eventually in a second you can see how I partition it into what will be the bathroom or shower room, because I've not made a single bath in this world yet. Oh, I'd love a bath. I might get a bath tonight. I'm such an oldie. I always try not to have baths though, because I know that they use more water, which of course costs more gas to heat it. And yeah, also, like, I'm in there for longer, like, I have the light on. So I just know, although it's, like, literally pence we're talking about, it costs more, so I try not to have them, like, where I can help it, if that makes sense. It's so daft, I should probably just do it, like, I can afford it. But obviously I've got goals and stuff. I just hope I'm not, like, super tight all my life, like, I don't know, surely I imagine at one point, if all of my life plans go to plan, like, eventually I'll have money spare. And I'm not going to dig into my life plans unless you particularly want to hear it. But yeah, I hope that I'm really, I'm trying to save for a car because my car's dead dodgy. That is like a priority. That is literally what I'm saving for. I've done so good recently though. And the other thing is, if it ever happened, I would love to get my mortgage paid off. And someone asked me today, I think it was a year 9, said like, if you got your mortgage paid off, like, would you just quit? said, I don't know, I've not decided. And at the minute, I've got 19 years left on my mortgage, so I've got 19 years to decide. Gosh, it feels like a long time, very long time. And I know people have like longer mortgages, but I find it quite like depressing that just paying that all the time. It's a lot of money, literally just to sort of have a roof over your head. But it is cool that hopefully one day I'd get to own this roof over my head. But yeah, I don't know. I had some quite deep revelations at work earlier talking to one of my colleagues, which I'm not going to go into because, yeah, I don't want to hypothesize, but interesting things that I really need to think about more. I just don't get the headspace or the time to actually think about anything. I mean, I'm saying this, but I've literally recorded a Minecraft episode and then I'm sat here narrating over it. That's like 2 hours of my lifetime. But I feel like that is the better thing to do instead of sitting and thinking about my life because it's just depressing. Maybe that's just my opinion and maybe the way I think of things, but just to sit and think about what I've got and what I've not got and the things I want to achieve that are so far away. Which, by the way, like if anybody is setting themselves goals, please try and think as short term as possible. Obviously, short term goals can lead up to long term goals, but I've quite often found that all my goals can quite often be long term, and I realise they're really far away. There's nothing I can do to try and meet them in the short term, which is of course is not true. There might be little things you can do, like if it is saving money, I can be like, right, I'm going to do this week, or I'm going to do that this week. But yeah, I don't know. It's not worth deep in, really. I mean, life's going okay. Obviously, my job's like tough. I should probably be doing planning right now, but I need an escape as well. I can't just work, literally at work, and then get home from work and do more work. It's so depressing. Oh my gosh, that sounds loud. A bit back, I was like tracking my hours at work and working out like how much I get paid per hour, which just ends up being so depressing because I work so many hours, and it's disgustingly close to minimum wage. But I get a lot of holidays too, and as I said to the kids earlier, like I do still get paid on my holidays, which is obviously absolute ace. You can see here what I decided to do with the stairs in this bigger house, so I end up curving them round. I don't know if that was the right thing to do. I really want like some downstairs toilets. I know that sounds silly, but I feel like I need more houses with downstairs toilets. I think there was a house in the last episode that had a toilet on the first floor, which was very strange, just on its own, which obviously is planned to be the kitchen area. I mean, I have a toilet that comes off my kitchen, and I remember like when I was house hunting, I found that quite off-putting. I was like, I don't want a toilet coming off my kitchen, but it works okay. I mean, you don't really think about the two together. They do feel quite separate, actually, to say that they're like basically in the same room. But yeah, I definitely need more houses in my Minecraft world that have downstairs toilets. Right, I think I might fast forward because I feel like this content is not very exciting. I'm literally just building walls. I'm getting near the end of the episode, so firstly, like, thank you if you just watched this so far because I appreciate it's not the most exciting stuff. I decided in this house, as you can see, to sort of split off what will be the living room. I decided to leave it quite open plan, which I don't think is something that I've really done yet. It's hopefully going to give the house like a nice feel. I do like that bigger house. I mean, that house has clearly got room for at least a bedroom and a bathroom, hasn't it? I'm really excited to kind of get that decorated. Like I say, I don't know if I'll maybe do that off camera and then just update you guys on what I've done. Let me fast forward again, see if there's anything new and exciting. No, not really. Fast forward again. Okay, and then I just stand up there, and this is basically where I am episode. So you can see all the houses I've built. I've got house 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in no particular order, I guess. I mean, 1, 2, and 3 are pretty obvious, but I think 4 is the bigger one, and 5 is that smaller one. I really do need to start like giving the houses house numbers, because when I start the post office, it's going to work out the workload from the post office. But also, like in the episodes, if I'm going to demolish a random building, if I get Siri to pick a random number, it'll tell me which building I've got to destroy. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, or if I'm going to do it or not. But it's definitely what I'm thinking. But anyway, we'll see, because I don't know when I'm going to do that. But thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, or you're just enjoying the journey, please feel free to give the video a thumbs up, because then I know what sorts of things you like in. Like, if I see that my 5 houses for every multiple of 5 is not a thing that people like, I'll obviously stop doing it. Whereas if I see that people really enjoy seeing me build houses, I might do more house building videos. So, if you did at all enjoy the video and this is your cup of tea, and the same for the other videos if you enjoy them, please give me a thumbs up, because then, if people actually do it, it will start to give me a bit of a picture of what people like and what people don't like, and then obviously I can cater to that a bit. But for anyone that has watched the episode, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me on my journey. I hope you enjoyed it half as much as I do, because I just love, firstly, playing like one of my favourite games, but secondly, like being able to talk about all the things that are going through my mind when this is normally like all in my head. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the journey. I know I finish off the roofs of these houses like off camera. I'm just going to pause the video. I know there's a bit of time left on it, but I don't want it to finish. So yeah, I do finish off the roofs and I think the floors of these houses like off camera at the end of the episode. Um, I've not decided exactly what I'm going to do next. I know we need to finish some of those buildings in the town square, and I've also got these houses that are potentially decorating, which I think would be a good idea instead of leaving them empty, unless people aren't particularly bothered. I mean, if you've got any opinion, please feel free to leave it in the comments. But like I said, if you've enjoyed it, you know what to do. And I'll hopefully see you in the next one. I have no idea when that'll be. It's probably going to be the weekend. I'm aware that my channel is called like Daily Minecraft Videos, Daily Creative Minecraft Series, whatever. Obviously, daily was a bit ambitious, like not a good idea at all. So I need to come up with a proper plan again. I'll work it out. But anyway, random episode on a Tuesday. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.